Good day to you, my fellow endoskeletons. I'm Kenetor and welcome back for another Starbase progress report. We're on week 45 of 2021, and if you're new here, I bring the latest news and updates of everything Starbase every Monday. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss out. Now let's get to it. It's been one hell of an exciting week over on the PTU as the first iteration of working capital ships was patched in, and I must say, despite a few bugs, it's looking great so far, and will be oh so expensive to build once it comes to life. I think groups are going to have a fun time collecting everything they need for a nice big capital, for both the current resources available and the new ones coming via moon mining. I pulled a few images off the official Discord of the community's different capital ships that people have been working on, and these are already working in most cases, whopping around to different spots. Larry is also back to form this week with plenty of new info drops for us, so I'll kick things off with this fun little fact about bigger capital ships that came as quite a surprise. He says the first capital ship expansion will allow up to 9x3x2 zone capitals, which is 954 by 318 by 212 meters. That's pretty massive, and will expand similar to how stations expand once the capital ship has left the dock. That's a total of 54 zones for the numerically challenged, nearly double that currently available to stations, which kinda feels a little backwards. Larry continues that it's just the first expansion set, definitely not the last. The current plan is that capitals can expand on their own too. Docks are just to create them and return to stations, but they will see where they end up. But this expansion must be a ways off, right? Nope. Larry says the goal is next week, but he'd say now he's cursed it. And since the comment was from last week, we should be seeing the update this week. Larry thinks the actual expansion goes smooth, but all the issues it will cause will keep them busy after that. He's pretty sure us guys invent a zillion ways to lock everyone from their devs to bug fixing for the rest of eternity. Well damn, just when things were looking exciting for new PTU content, Larry ramps it up to 11. And while I advise everyone at least comes checks out the changes on the PTU, I will warn you that these are not bug-free patches. Things will indeed break, and your time may well be wasted and projects have to be restarted. This is normal for the PTU, and I urge you to report anything weird that happens to you over there via the F1 tool. It really helps them fix stuff before it comes to life. One guy even managed to jump under the moon's surface, for example. Another thing that happened is Frozenbyte updated the roadmap too. Now at first glance you may be forgiven into thinking that nothing has changed, but the main differences being that the quarterly timeline is now gone, the blueprint filler was removed as done, and the tutorial is now marked as done. Lastly, the major features currently being tested on the PTU are now marked as well. Also interestingly, nothing has yet been taken off the roadmap, which tells us the team at Frozenbyte think they can still deliver everything before the end of the year. This personally I can't believe, but would love to see them try. While I'm happy to wait for features, I'm sad Frozenbyte didn't take the opportunity to just be honest with themselves and with us in the community. Between bug fixing and delayed features, something has to give, and I'm sure several parts have already come and gone from the chopping block and been pushed back to next year. But what will next year look like for Starbase anyway? Well, we get a clue from Larry in our next quote, where he says, while we're not there yet, we have 3 major features at some working stage on the PTU, which means our devs are starting to be able to move to other cool stuff. Our tech bucket list doesn't include any more stuff which takes 2 years to make, so some major resources are able to focus more to quality of life and cool smaller features, using all that tech now done. Larry is hoping now that they have made a lot of bug fixes and large features finally look like they're wrapping up, there will be a lot more Christmas spirit with other features too. Larry has said many times in the past they are developing the game in a seemingly backwards tech first manner, which as far as I can tell is a smart move in the long run, but to us players this has meant a long time without actual content updates. However, that looks set to change soon as the devs can really build out more and more content now using this tech work that's been completed, which should mean more features and faster rollout times between them next year. And that's reason enough to be excited for me. No doubt a lot of long running smaller nitty gritty issues will be solidly ironed out and we can finally start seeing lots of new things come online to the game. But in the nearer term, we're looking at moon mining and capitals, and Larry gives us some info on what to expect here too. He says the scale of the game with capitals, moons, etc. will suddenly see a spike of 10,000 fold maybe, as capitals bring everything a lot closer, and at the same time, moons get content. The plan is to have several moons ready when caps roll to live, and the rest will be coming in some waves, which won't take too long. Also, caps won't hit live until we also have better resurrection mechanics done, for example. This content drop is looking to be huge. It's not just the moon through the gate that will be coming to be mineable, it will be a number of other moons too. We're going to see a great new moon rush. How many more types of resources will be coming? What new hazards might await us on other moons? I'm damn excited to find out, and you guys should be too. It's time to get your exploration on. Sadly, I've also seen some people naysay and dismiss some of the information I bring you guys, insinuating that I make things up or I'm just guessing. Like when I said the devs are working to bring us proper ore veins on the moon, which, as this Larry quote now shows, they are indeed being worked on. A lot of the stuff we see on the PTU is given to us when it works for testing, not when it's done. Some stuff may be obvious, like the moon ores being underground asteroids, while some things may feel strangely final, but everything on the PTU is anything but. So try to keep in mind that the game is constantly evolving and changing. Our last quote this week, before we move on to the awesome gallery images, is also on the moon mining. Larry explains the current PTU setup is just a random first setup. They will do a lot of adjusting and balancing before hitting live. The plan is to have all mining zones worth something, with proper hotspots and sometimes also hotspots with unique cores like the craters on the first moon. Moon mining will have both area and depth based veins, and in the future also shell ore will be based on location and ore depth, like ice at the poles or an agitite layer at 2 km depth, being just a few examples. Belts will get much larger and much more single ore focused hotspot setups than what the current setups are. This will be really interesting for those planning on really digging deep into the moons. Being able to tell roughly how far down you've gotten by reaching a change in material is really cool and similar to how the current main belt works with its different materials for each zone. This week's progress report is once again capital ship focused, and the gallery is no exception. We have some awesome brand new images of capital ship control panels. These will make your command decks really interesting with a modular layout. Much bigger screens, and even some new levers enter the mix too. I'm looking forward to see what kind of customization we can add to these screens to really make a ship your own style. The final two images are brand new mock-ups for a capital ship control panel. These are some of the cleanest designs for anything UI based in the game so far. They are really far more polished, and I hope we see this filter out to other areas of the game. These are also a stark difference from what we saw last week, which was the very first version they made. It really shows what a little extra polish can do. For the report this week, I'm going to focus only on the currently in progress parts of the report, as I've gone over the done parts multiple times already. So we kick off with building a capital ship and the capital ship dock improvements. The docks will become predefined in how small they can be to always at least fit the smallest possible viable capital ship, and they will also be adding an orientation indicator that's similar to the ship designer, so you know which way is forwards and up. Although I'd love them to also add a control panel or UI pop-up for the capital ship dock, because as soon as you finish a dock, it tries to create a capital ship immediately, and if you don't want one, it will have to be abandoned, which itself does not delete the capital ship at this time, so you get stuck with a ghost capital ship in your dock. There is also no way for an authorized station user, say a company member, to use the dock to create his or her own capital ship from an empty dock, at least as far as I can tell. New UI for fast travel is also coming, and this will be the mock-ups we just saw in the gallery. Moving on to capital ship fast travel now, and we have capital ship fast travel VFX is still under work over in the art department. I'm really looking forward to seeing a brand new unique bunch of effects from these guys to give capital ships the epicness they deserve. Capital ship destination visualization. We touched on this last week as a new feature and will be needed due to the capital ship destroying anything in its arrival zone. So letting people know it's coming means they can get out of the way should they be online to do so. One thing we haven't seen though is any info yet on what happens when the destination is already a safe zone. Refueling V2. Refueling will be changed from a single use item to fill these new larger capital sized tanks to a tool that can be refueled, and the fuel becomes craftable. This should bring it more in line to how other refueling is done on standard ships with the fuel rods, for example. Fast travel to moon bases and cities. The mad lads over at Frozen Byte want to let us bring these mammoth ships down to the surface of the moon to dock with our bases there. That's certainly going to be a sight to see as this huge ship comes down through the atmosphere at high speed and stops at a base. Here's hoping we get some kind of plasma wave build up around the ship as it enters the moon's atmosphere. This would look really amazing. Fast journey start. This looks to be a tweak to how fast travel can be used when going on short distances instead of massive ones, be it just to get out of the dock at your station or jumping very close to a second station. Players will be able to use shorter charge times to do these jumps, but the overall speed of the ship will be slower. Either way, this should still be faster than a normal ship and well worth the trade-off of not waiting 12 hours to jump. Moving on to new additions for capital ships now, and we have a separate integrity check for the outer shell or plating of a capital ship. This will make it quicker to see if your cosmetic changes are going to hold to the frame well enough, rather than check the full ship itself. Gotta remember, these ships are going to be huge, so this will definitely help performance wise. Capital ship access page. Of course, just like a station, they will need their own access page. This is because they will have features that stations don't, so can't simply reuse the same page. Capital ship flyby audio. This is something I've touched on before and is still in coding by the devs, but it will be great to have something different to listen out for. Capital ship expansion. As we heard in the quotes from Lowry a few times now, capital ships will be expandable after leaving the dock, and just like stations will be based on current voxel mass of the whole ship. Different expansion shapes. This one definitely has my attention and should have yours too. As Larry said, the first expansion will be 9x3x2 zones. That's very long and doesn't really leave much freedom for designing anything else but a giant space submarine. Boring. This feature indicates that they want to work on letting players be able to choose the overall shape of their capital ship, and I'm really happy about that. Just don't expect it soon, as it's something that's still in design and coding has yet to start. Our last section is something I know a few of you are keen on because you're dying to start a space war, and that's military capital ships. Design and code are still ongoing for the military capital ships, but as a quick refresher, these are not created from scratch, but are a conversion done to a civilian capital ship to change its features. Namely, its safe zone becomes dynamic, it can start a siege, and it will be able to launch a lot of ships very quickly from its storage. Capital ship and station size classes. Work on this is ongoing too, and will need to be balanced out in line with the final expansion limits. As soon, capitals can be twice the size of a normal station. And that's it, you're caught up for this week's Starbase news. Don't forget to come drop by my Discord or chip in to support the channel via donor box or YouTube memberships. All my monthly supporters are listed at the end of my videos and get access to a supporter channel on my Discord, along with my eternal gratitude. As always, please smash that like button, share this video with your friends and faction, leave a comment with any questions you want answers to, and I'll see you in the next one. Kenetor, out.